that to see how talented they are on defense. Very aggressive, very athletic. Would definitely be one of the top defenses that we face this year. They also have a lot of depth. That's really impressive. They play a lot of guys. I think they play 9 guys on the defensive line, and not a big drop off there. Have a lot of respect for Manny Diaz, their defensive coordinator. He does an excellent job. Does not have a lot of tendencies, and he does a really good job of mixing things up and keeping offenses off balance, and really kind of has a game plan specific for the team they're playing that week. They're number 1 in the country in turnover margin, so that'll continue to be a big factor for us as we go. And then they're also number 1 in the country in sacks, number 2 in the country in tackles for loss, and number 15 in the country in scoring defense, only giving up 18 points a game. So it'll be a big challenge for us offensively. Should be a great game. I know our guys are excited, looking forward to the challenge, and ready to go play on Saturday night. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Their defense has been so good at creating turnovers. Everybody knows about the turnover chain. Is there anything to do, and how they've been creating? I mean, is it another team's mistake? Are they good at stripping?
Yeah, I went and watched all of their turnovers last night. There was a good number of them, and really the majority of them they caused. There was maybe 1 or 2 where the quarterback dropped the snap or something like that, but 90% of them, Miami did a great job of causing the turnover. They do a good job of tackling the ball as they're tackling the ball carrier, being very specific with their hands, trying to knock the ball out. And then, I think the interceptions are a combination of their scheme, being unpredictable in their scheme. They got guys roaming around, a little bit unorthodox in some of their coverages that have created some issues for the quarterbacks that they faced. And then also just some great plays by their guys in the secondary. I mean, they cover some ground. They remind me a lot of our guys that we go against every day. Whenever I watch their defense, I see our defense out there at each position. So it'll definitely, for us, we really talk about turnovers every week and the importance of that. And we talked about that going into the game against South Carolina this past week. That was something that I talked to the offense about. Going into the South Carolina game, that was going to be our 4th road game against a top 25 opponent. And in our previous 3 games on the road versus top 25 opponents, we only had 1 turnover, which was really impressive, and I think a big reason why we had the success that we'd had on the road. So our guys know, we have a philosophy that if we protect the ball, we win. That's just a mindset that our guys have. Regardless of anything else in the game, if we don't turn the ball over, we win. That's kind of been one of the things that we live by, part of our process of winning. And our guys have bought into that. We've done a good job with it at times, and then there's other times where the ball's gotten away from us. So it'll be a focus every day in practice like it's been, but outside of that, the guys got to go out there and play and hopefully do a good job protecting the ball.
How big was it that they were so concentrating on stopping Kelly's legs, and for him to just win the game with his arm, to kind of his confidence, to help his confidence going forward?
Yeah, I think Kelly's done a good job. I think he's completing 66.5% something on the year. I think Deshaun finished the year at 67. So he's doing a really good job. I think for the biggest thing for us is completing a few of those deep balls. And like the 2 balls that he hit with T. Higgins, those were nice plays. The one on their sideline was a nice play. And for us offensively, part of our success is the balance and really making defenses have to make a choice whether they want to stop the run or stop the pass. And usually it's a cat and mouse game back and forth throughout the game. They're trying to decide when you're throwing it, when you're running it, and we're trying to do the opposite. I think Kelly does a great job of managing the game, managing the situation, managing our offense. It may look a little bit different than, Deshaun in the past, but, he's, for the most part, he's protecting the football, and he's making good decisions. As coaches, we know where the ball's supposed to be delivered, and, he continues to do a really good job of making the right decisions. The 1 interception Their corner made a great play, and T didn't have the best release. He could have done a little bit better job over there in the boundary. But outside of that, I think, he's had 2 turnovers now in those 4 big road games. I think for all of us, the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, the tight ends, offensively, we play at our best when we can throw and catch, and when we do have that balance. And I feel like, to be honest, that we're just starting to hit our stride right here at the right time.
Jeff, when you talk about the imperative of not turning the ball over, how do you strike a balance in dealing with the skill position players of, we don't need you giving up the ball, but keeping them from becoming timid as a result of that being in their minds?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is that we're consistent with it. If we didn't talk about ball security all year long, and then we got to this game and made a real big deal about it, that's not what you want to do. But the biggest thing is we show guys examples. I think the end of the NC State Wake Forest game, the receiver was going in for an easy touchdown and reached the ball over when he didn't have to, and Wake Forest knocks the ball out. And so that's a teachable moment. And if you can learn from other people's mistakes, and then hopefully it'll help you prevent some. So we look for that. I know on Tuesdays, Tuesday for us each day has a special theme. Tuesday for us is Tanoga Tuesday, which is takeaway and no giveaway. And so at the very beginning of our team meeting every Tuesday, Coach Sweeney has a video put together, for our defense of any turnovers that they caused in the last game, and then also other turnovers, maybe in some of the NFL games or the opponent we're getting ready to play. And then they can turn around and also show a bunch of pictures of great ball security. So just trying to get those guys to get a visual picture of that, and and coaching it. Really, that's what we do. We coach it. Coming back correct, watching this game, there were a couple of times, T. Higgins had the ball out on that sideline, trying to make a play, and the ball got away from him. So that's a coachable moment for him and for all those guys to be able to see that. And then also from practice. We grade every play in practice. We call it BIJ, which is a ball in jeopardy. So we'll chart those in practice and in games, and really, kind of keep that attention, right in the forefront of our guys. And I think they really believe, seeing what we've done in the past, that if we protect the ball, that we're, can be difficult to beat.
Coach, how advantageous is it to face a team that you haven't seen in a while, as opposed to, say, a Virginia Tech? I imagine it's hard to simulate your offense in practice.
That was a question that kind of came up earlier in the year, kind of looking ahead, thinking, do you want to play Virginia Tech or Miami? I don't know which one's advantageous. I think for us as coaches, and I know as players, I think they're excited about playing a new team. And, it seems like the last couple of years, even in the bowl games, we've kind of had a lot of repeat games. Miami obviously has had a great season. I got a lot of respect for Coach Mark Rick. His wife used to babysit me back in the day whenever we were in Tallahassee during the early years. And, he's a lot like Coach Sweeney. He does it the right way, and a guy that I look up to in the coaching profession. And what Miami's done this year, we've kept up with that all year long. And I think our guys are excited to get out there and go play against them. They know it's going to be a big challenge. They got, they're having an outstanding season. They got a lot of great players. I think, to be honest, our guys are probably more excited to get to play somebody different. But at the end of the day, you got an opportunity to win an ACC championship, and it really doesn't matter who you play. Our formula is it's all about us. It's about how we play, and not who we play.